Welcome back. The Inter-Secondary School Sports Association, ISA, the governing body for the Boys and Girls Athletics Championships, tightened its transfer rules in 2018. But have coaches now found a workaround in schools by bringing in foreign nationals? And what are the requirements for documentation? We explore those issues in this story.
ISA's transfer rules were implemented to minimize the movement of athletes between schools solely for sporting purposes, a practice which had become widespread, especially in track and field. But an influx of overseas nationals competing in sporting events, specifically the ISA Boys and Girls Championships earlier this year, seemed to expose a loophole in that rule. But ISA President Keith Wellington says not so. But what are the requirements for overseas nationals attending high schools in Jamaica? Our checks with the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, revealed a few things. Commonwealth nationals generally do not require student visas to attend high schools in Jamaica. It means that students from countries such as St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, St. Lucia and Trinidad and Tobago, all nations which were represented at Champs, wouldn't need a visa to attend a Jamaican high school. However, they must provide an acceptance letter to immigration officials at the port of entry before seeking an extension of stay. The length of their stay in the country will depend on the completion date of their course of study. But some Commonwealth nationals do have a visa requirement if they're coming from countries such as Pakistan, Sri Lanka or Cameroon. Non-Commonwealth nationals must, however, obtain a student visa along with all the other requirements, including an acceptance letter from the school. But are there checks and balances in place?
Obviously, our rules actually speak to these checks and balances. So we obviously want our school system to remain something with integrity, where it is that these schools perform the functions for which they are intended, which is primarily academics, but also the all-round development of our students.
President of the governing body for athletics locally, the J3As, Garth Gale, says while being the sanctioning body for Champs, they don't intervene in situations such as these. But
we take note of it. We do take note of it. But though it's managed by the Inter-Secondary School Sports Association, which is an affiliate of the J3As. And we would lean on their, understanding, their interpretation, or if their rules are not being breached, then we have no problem with it.
In fact, he sees it as a positive.
It gives our local coaches, because these foreign athletes, mind you, are being coached by our Jamaican coaches. And so there is a reciprocal benefit to our NACAC neighbors. And we are happy that Jamaica is providing that avenue, that opportunity for these youngsters to come to Jamaica for an education and also to train.
So what of the possibility that an overseas national may be taking an opportunity away from a Jamaican athlete?
I think our local students are good enough to hold their own, and those who may be on the fringe would be encouraged to work harder. As schools, we teach globalization, and we teach our students to understand and accept that when they compete, not just academically, but in whatever sphere, they are competing not just with their classmates or their peers in their communities, but they are competing on a global stage.
PICA did also reveal to TVJ Sports that a complaint would have to be made to them for them to investigate the status of any foreign national studying in Jamaica.